from
This
final year
this
present here
conference will now
for
be
an
recorded.
amazing webinar on natural language understanding using RASA tool, organized by the Loyola Institute of Technology, Department of CSE and IT in association with student chapter of CSI and IEI. We have a great talented resource person, Dr. N. Srinivasan, with us for this webinar. We are really gifted to learn in the mid of the pandemic. It's all because of Almighty Lord. To make this webinar more blissful with presence of Lord, I now invite Mercy Shantirani from Final CSC for Bible reading followed by welcome address. Mercy, kindly unmute yourself.
Good afternoon, all. The Bible reading is taken from Psalms chapter 34, verses 1 to 6. I will always thank the Lord. I will never stop praising him. I will praise him for what he has done. May all he are oppressed listen and be Lord. Proclaim with the Lord's greatness. Let us praise his name together. I prayed to the Lord, and he answered me. He freed me from all my fears. The oppressed look to him and are glad. They will never be disappointed. The helpless call to him, and he answers. He saves them from all the troubles. This is the word of the Lord. Thanks be to God. It's my pleasure to welcome everyone to this program. I hope all are safe and healthy. First, with a great pleasure, now I welcome our eminent guest speaker, Dr. N. Srinivasan, who secured his PhD in Computer Science, Masters of Computer Application from Department of Computer Science, Madurai. He is one of the author of Computer Science, Computer Application, and Computer Technology, Volume 1. Now he is distinguished adjunct professor in BITS and currently working in SR Consultant, Bashur Solutions Private Limited, Chennai. He had a rich 24 plus experience in academia and in industry. He is currently researching focus on data mining, software testing, reliability engineering, AI, machine learning, information retrieval, and web mining. He is here enrich your knowledge in natural language understanding using RASA tool. Welcome you, sir. And my pleasant welcome to our administrator, Reverend Sister Arul Selvi, and our principal, Dr. Sujata Anand, for your great support in arranging this webinar. Welcome, sister, and welcome, ma'am. And my special welcome to our HOD, who always a great support for us, Dr. Bhuvaneshwari, ma'am, who is the convener of this webinar. We welcome you, ma'am. And my cheerful welcome to the coordinators to this webinar, Mr. P. Velavan, Mr. D. Prabhu, and Mrs. P. Rama for making all arrangements for this webinar. Welcome you all, ma'am and sir. And last but not least, my warm welcome to all the faculty and my dear students and my friends. I expect your presence with a great curiosity in this virtual platform in the mid of this pandemic. Once again, I welcome you all.
Thank you, Mercy. Now here comes the most awaited moment of this webinar. I request the audience to mute your mic till the end of the webinar and you will get a chance to ask your queries at a Q&A session. You can also put your queries in the chat box. Now I hand over the session to Sir.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Thank you for giving a brief introduction about me. And I thank the management of Lilo Institute of Technology and my beloved friend and my beloved old friend, Mr. Velavan, Associate Professor in the Department of Computer Engineering, for giving the webinar. Actually, I used to give lecture to students as well for other, I mean, colleagues for having a good interactive session. But here, I mean, within a week's premises, no, Mr. Velavan interacted me to give a lecture for the students of his institute. So I thought of giving a new lecture called as, I mean, in natural language understanding. It is a new topic which now there in our industry 4.0. So I took a topic called as natural language understanding in as a tool. Nowadays we are having many tools like IBM Watson is there. Many tools are there, but for the student's perspective, for the learner's perspective, we can have we can select a open source tool called as Rasa. Am I audible to all of you?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir, it's audible.
Okay. So I thought of taking this Rasa NLU, where we are working for quite uh, busy customers for in our uh, organization, and this is very easy to learn. The prerequisite for Rasa is Rasa. Anybody can learn Rasa tool within a week, actually. So in that sense, I'll just give a small walkthrough of RASA, Rasa tool. So with the introduction with the natural language understanding. All right. I will share my screen now. Is my screen is visible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Just a moment. I am new to this Go meeting actually. We used to conduct meetings via, Google Meet or Teams or Teams, but I want to, it's somewhat a new environment for me. Let us check. Yeah, just a moment, please. Just hello. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So okay. Let us. About national understanding. I will just give you some introduction about natural language understanding. All right. So new it is not a new term. So you can have some interesting applications like uh, text processing, text characterization, machine translation, and you can also have question answering by using chatbots. I think you're familiar with chatbots, right? Whenever if you're visiting a website or whenever if you're visiting any web portal, you can see a chat. Your bot will be having your bot will be appearing in your screen. Hey, how are you? Can I help you, like that, right? That is called as a chatbot, right? So what it does, in the sense, it acts like a human. It acts like a human, or it will interact like a human. But nowadays we are also working with voice bots also. Whereas it will interact, it will just a very good example is your Google Assistant. I think you are familiar with Google Assistant, right? It is a voice bot actually, right? And again, it also have many facilities, like you can just organize your team or organize your meeting, or you can also it will just I mean parse your text or parse your speech, and it will also give you about uh, the actual understanding of your speech. It convert the speech into text, and it will mine data in the web, and it will just crawl the web, and it will give you certain information based upon what the user accepts. All right. So here, the natural language understanding, it often refers like a full comprehension, or you can say it as a the language, right? Semantic language. So your natural language understanding normally is used language. Normally, how it does in the sense, I mean, for example, if you take the test, if you take the text, right? If you take the text has been converted into the parse trees, right? Again, these parse trees will be just parsed into in terms of different logical forms, and again, it will just characterize into the different set of stemming process of your language, and how it parses your text, and how it generates the stemming process, and it discourse the segmentation by means of your linguistic what you are generating in terms of your voice, right? I think you have different sets of non-linguistic input forms, and again uh, those input forms will be just converted into the grammatical rules, and again uh, normally what it does in the sense, it will just parse the word and again it all these things into probabilistic models, deep learning focuses, or you can say different types of tools are embedding forward feed forward propagations, all right? And again you have recurrent, right, in terms of your spoken language. And again normally the actual goal is to understand the written or spoken language that the way a human world can understand, right? So if you take the NLU applications, you have the different set of NLP tasks, like language modeling, right? I think how many of you are know about uh, Google Translate? Google Translate. You heard about Google Translate, right, guys?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. What Google Translate will do in the sense, whenever you type a particular language text, it will just convert the text into the appropriate grammatical sense of that particular language. And again, what it does in the sense, it will translate into the human, into the next language. Is it not? It is a type of language modeling, right? You have part of speech tagging, you have syntactic parsing, you have semantic parsing, you have sentiment analysis. You heard about sentiment analysis, right? Sentiment analysis in the sense, see, for example, I'll give a good scenario for you. See, for example, if you are going to shopping, normally what we people will do nowadays in the sense, whenever we do shopping, we used to do it by means of some net transactions, right? Whenever if you go to Amazon, and whenever if you procure something, or if you just buy a particular product, say for example, if you buy a particular cloth, or if you buy a particular shirt, right? And again you do transaction based upon your card. And again you just procure the thing, and again after some days of your procurement, or after some days whatever you had bought, you can get a promotional message to your mobile phone or to your mail stating that, uh, for example, if you're buying a Winfield shirt, right, Winfield shirt or Raymond shirt, this, I mean, you can get a promotional message from a different store which is giving some offer based upon the same shirt what you have bought. Have you ever experienced that type of messages? Excuse me, guys. Hello, guys. Am I audible?
Yes, yes, yes,
Okay,
yes,
okay,
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
okay. The thing is now, I mean, whenever if you're just getting a particular product based upon a previous shopping experience, and again you will be getting a particular promotional message. Do you know what it does? In the sense, I mean, I mean, do you know some? I mean, are you thinking that somebody else is watching you? No, it is purely based upon your data mining techniques. It is called as your ontological mining. You can say based on the ontologies, or based upon whatever the previous thing that you had bought. I mean, whenever if you are getting a particular transaction by means of your card, I mean, you are liable. I mean, whenever if you are getting a card from a bank, stating that, I mean, you are just liable to expose your credentials to the particular bank. So the bank is also, I mean, getting a authentication that it will share your details to third parties. So that is called as your marketing promotions. Again, it is purely based on marketing. I mean, it is by means of your analysis, by means of your ontologies. Like this, like that, whenever if you are going for sentiment analysis, whenever if you go for sentiment analysis, the sentiment analysis is also purely based on how the user wants his, I mean, area of interest. See, whenever if you want, if you're going for Amazon, or if you're going for a Flipkart, and if you are selecting a particular product, based upon the mouse clicks, the automatically the backend, the deep learning model, what it does in the sense, it will just analyze what are the different types of, I mean, sentiments that, or what are the different types of interests that the user wants, and again it will just take, and again it will just generate some algorithms, and again it will generate some I mean, semantic parsers based upon that. All right. So likewise, you can have you can take in your deep learning model. Whenever if you take a deep learning model, you can have your representational learning by means of the speech and vision, by means of speech and vision. So what is called as your representation? All these things purely based on your NLP, is purely based on your representation learning. So what it does in the sense, it will just learn the representations by means of easy to adapt and by means of fast to obtain. All right. So your natural language applications will use those types of things actually. So if you take your sentiment analysis, it interprets the emotions. It interprets the emotions within a text and categorizes them as positive or negative or neutral. All right. By quickly understanding the processing and analyzing thousands of online conversations, the sentiment analysis tools can deliver valuable insights about how customers view your brand or products. As I said, no, whenever if you are choosing a particular brand, or whenever if you choose a particular product, based upon the customer's sentiment and based upon the customer's analysis, or based upon the customer's, I mean, uh, interests, it will just the deep learning model provides a very flexible, and again it gives a trainable framework for representing the world by means of visible and by means of your linguistic information, by means of your I mean uh, I mean by means of giving the users, or by means of giving messages to the users, by means of some linguistic information. So if you take your probabilistic models, your deep learning freeze make many things which are difficult, many things which are more difficult, that is very easier to understand now, right? So if you take yeah, analysis, see for example, I will just give a small example. Do you know how Google gives the results, your search results, guys? Whenever if you're typing something in your Google, how Google gives your results? Anybody knows? Excuse me. See, for example, if I am typing in Google saying that see, for example, Jet Propulsion Laboratory of NASA, NASA. See, propulsion, SION, propulsion. If I am saying Jet Propulsion Laboratory of NASA, automatically Google, within a fraction of a second, it gives the result, is it not? Guys, are you seeing my screen now?
Yes, sir.
Do you know how it does? Do you know how? See, I'm saying Jet Propulsion Laboratory of NASA, I said, within a fraction of a second, it retrieves 100,000, 10,000, lakh, 10 lakh, 1 crore 26,000 results. How it does actually, and even I just asked Jet Propulsion Laboratory of NASA, but it just gives within a fraction of a second. It just gives information about the actual thing what I am just requesting. It is a propulsion laboratory from California Institute. Does it not? Do you know how it does? Excuse me, guys. You want to know about how Google works?
Yes, sir.
See, whatever the user types, what I type now, Jet Propulsion Laboratory of NASA, what Google does in the sense, it will just right rotate this phrase once. Whenever if you right rotate this phrase once, what it does, what comes first? See, for example, if I'm rotating right once, rightwise rotation, what comes first?
Yeah.
I'm rotating. No. Right rotate. NASA will come first, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, NASA Jet Propulsion Laboratory of it will come, right? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So automatically, what it does, the Google now just identify the keyword NASA now. NASA is a noun now, is it not? So automatically the crawler points to NASA. Then again, what are the remaining things? The remaining thing is Jet Propulsion Laboratory of, is it not? Yes or no?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Now again right rotate once. What comes first? Off will come first, right? Off is a stop word. Off is a stop word, so eliminate it. Then what is the remaining? Jet Propulsion Laboratory will be remaining, is it not?
Yes, sir.
So just a minute. Now laboratory again right rotate once. What comes first? Laboratory, Jet Propulsion will comes, right? So in NASA there are many laboratories. Now I am asking laboratory. In NASA there are many laboratories. Now again, what are the remaining things which is there? Jet Propulsion, right?
Yes, sir.
Propulsion will comes first. So again right rotate once. Propulsion will comes first. yeah, in laboratory. But so laboratory also there may be the what it comes. So different laboratory points there is a sense. Normally out of context, QIC, KWOC, KWAC, and like that it will work. So your actually Google works with all the search engine normally works with keywords. All right, guys, got it?
Got it, sir.
So in that way your keywords works actually. So all these things are purely based on the language processings in terms of information retrieval. All right. So you just see this sentimental, some other examples. You just see this. Yeah, positive means my experience so far has been fantastic. Positive. The product is okay. Guess neutral. Your support team is useless. Negative. You just face expressions, right? You can also, I think you're all familiar with getting in this pandemic. You're just getting ordering food by means of Swiggy and Zomato, right? In Zomato, they are asking about a feedback to you, right? Yes or no? Feedback about what you have purchased, or feedback about the particular person who is delivering. Is it not?
Yes, sir.
It is also purely based on sentiment analysis. What the user gives. If a user gives rate 5, automatically the system will just grab the user. See, for example, if you're ordering a particular food from a particular restaurant, say Sangeeta, right? And again at the end of that particular purchase, after that they will ask you about how was your food, rate your food, feedback. So all these things, the feedback will be recorded, and again based upon the analysis, in the back end a particular learning model or model will generate, and again it will just analyze what the user's sentiment is based on. See, for example, if you say that uh, the food is not nice, say if you're using 1 out of 5 as your rating, and again they will ask some more questions to you. What went wrong? What went wrong? Based upon that, they will just you will just say, you will just type something. I mean, again, that the particular food is not well, the quantity is less, or I ordered a different thing but it came a different thing, like that you can say something, right? So all these things are recorded, and again based on the analysis, again they will just they will just analyze about the user's sentiments. All right, this is purely based on sentiment analysis. Then comes language detection. So see, for example, a very good example is your Google Translate. Whenever if you type something, and again automatically it will just Google, the particular model, in the model which is there in Google, which just understands automatically what the particular in which language you are writing information. Is it not? So language detection is again an essential tool to help business route tickets to the correct local teams, avoid wasting time passing tickets from one customer agent to the next, and respond to customer issues faster, right? So automatically it will just analyze the language of the particular user, and again it will translate the tickets in the sense, again, see, for example, if you want to see, for example, if I am asking you, a very good example is if you are a customer of for a particular uh, telecom telecom provider telecom provider. Say, for example, if you are a customer of Vodafone, and again, if you want to change, if you want to give some information, or if you want to get information, or if you want to raise a particular, uh, complaint to the particular service provider about the service, again, automatically it will just recognize. See, for example, it will again give you about information, say press 1 for English, press 2 for thing. But whenever if you take a Google Assistant, and now Google Assistants are there for various languages, right? It will just it will just analyze the phonetics, or it will just analyze the speech of a particular person, and again it will just get the speech voice recognition, and again it will just give you about the appropriate responses by means of certain results. Is it not? So how these things are done in terms of I mean, you can just train the particular model based upon the different phonemes, based upon the different language syntax and semantics, and again you have to label the training data based upon those languages, and again it will be converted into the features, and the features will be converted into the lexical representations, and again the predictions will be done based upon the training model. All right. So normally we used to classify our data in terms of supervised and unsupervised learning. So normally NLP, your natural language understanding, focused on unsupervised learning. All right. It focused on unsupervised learning, but now they are just converting. Now many deep learning models, now research is going on in converting the unsupervised learning structures into supervised learning structures. So these deep learning models can be employed both in supervised and unsupervised way, and can also be used for the transfer learning, where the representations of these learning techniques can be reused from one language or one representation to the next representation. All right. So the next one is called as your topic classifications. So the topic classifications can also be done by means of, see, for example, what is called as topic classification. See, for example, again we can say Google. See, for example, if you want to search a particular, see, for example, I will just give you a small demo. See, I'm asking Google, I'm typing Apple, but how this model, deep learning model, gives results? You just see this. It is giving Apple as a product. Just a minute, please. Sir, now training நான் திருப்பி கொஞ்ச நேரம் கழிச்சு கூப்பிட்டா ஒரு 3:30 3:45 மேல வந்து கிடைக்கிறேன். Yeah, thanks. See, actually I am just typing Apple, and what it does, what it gets: Apple Watch, Apple stock, Apple TV, Apple laboratory, Apple India, all these things. Unless and again, you see, for example, if are you able to view the screen, ma? Excuse me.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. See, yeah. For example, if I'm saying uh, uh, French fries, so it gives the results. It gives the results like French fries, right? Right. See, for example, based upon the interest it gives. Again, see, for example, if I am asking app apple as a fruit. Yeah, if I'm going for images, sorry. See, it also gives apple as a fruit and apple as a product, is it not? See how it has been giving information. See, for example, if I'm asking you, if I'm asking or if I'm just Lilo, L-O-Y-O-L-A, Lilo Institute of Technology, right? So how it gives information based on LILO. So again, the same thing what I said now, based upon rotation it gives, and again it will just there are many different terms called as you can say mm, uh, search engine optimization is again a particular terminology. And again, whenever if you want your particular web page to come first, you have to go for some search engine optimization techniques. That is a different thing actually. All right. So just a minute. Okay. Anyway, so the topic classification is able to understand the natural language to automatically sort texts into predefined groups or topics, deciding whether an email is spam or not, right? Deciding what the topic of the news article is from the list of topics such as sports, technologies, or politics, is it not? It is purely based on the topic classification. Now, let us just differentiate between the natural language processing versus NLU. Even both NLP and NLU aims to make sense of unstructured data, but they are not the same thing. Your NLP and NLU are not the same thing. Now, what is NLP? Actually, NLU is a classification of NLP actually. What is NLP? NLP is concerned with how computers are programmed to process language and facilitate natural back and forth communication between the computers and humans. All right. Just a minute. So, if you take the natural language processing, it is concerned with your how computers are programmed to process language and facilitate natural back and forth communication between the computers and humans. But on the other hand, if you take natural language understanding, it focuses on the machine's ability to understand the human language, right? What the machine, how the machine understands the human language. So natural language understanding refers how unstructured data is rearranged so that machines may understand and analyze it, right? See, normally as a human, as we are human, we can easily understood about how the opponents or how others are communicating with us, either by means of language or by means of textual, what might be, right? That is our neurons in the brain will just get the input, whether it is a text or whether it is a speech, audio speech. That audio will be heard by our ears, and the ears, our ears will just grasp the audio. It convert the audio into text or able, I mean, the perceptrons, and it will just feed to the brain by means of certain to the neurons in our brain, and our neurons in the brain will just analyze what the particular text or what the particular object is, if you are seeing, or what we are reading it as a text, and what we are just observing it as a speech. The neurons will analyze, and again it will just act by means of certain perceptions, is it not? A very good example is, I think you have heard about a famous movie called as Baby's Day Out. Hello, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Have you ever seen this old movie called as Baby's Day Out?
Yes, sir. Seen that.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, small baby was kidnapped, and again the baby escaped from that particular kidnappers, and again it will just go into a zoo, and again it will see some animals, and again the brain of the baby just recognize what her mother had, I mean, taught based upon that particular animals, right? Again, it will just, that is called as perceptions, right? Likewise, we have to generate some algorithms for for converting the unstructured data to a machine readable, understandable format, right? So that is purely based on the natural language. See, for example, we used to get stories, all the stories, user stories. We used to get all the user stories. The stories will be converted. The stories in the sense what we had seen earlier in the sentiment analysis. If a user says, "I'm feeling bad," or "I am feeling, I just, I mean, have a bad impression about that particular food," right? Or if he clicks a particular icon like this, say for example, if he clicks an icon like this in the sentiment analysis, if you take this icon, automatically you can say that it is negative. If you say this thing, you are very happy, is it not? By means of emotions, emojis, right? What we are using in our mobiles as emojis, is it not? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So in that way, you have to do all these things actually. So now we are going with this input. We are going into a conversational framework, AI framework called as RASA or ASA, right? Why RASA? What is, before going into it, why we are going into, we are seeing about RASA or ASA. RASA is building a contextual assistance. RASA is used for building contextual assistance and chatbots that really help customers. Is hard, all right? RASA provides infrastructure and tools necessary for high performing, resilient, proprietary contextual assistance that work, right? It is again a chatbot, right? Whenever if you are doing some applications in RASA, you can create your own chatbots, or you can also create your own voice bots, right? With RASA, all developers can create better text and voice based assistants. You can create your own voice based assistants, right? How a very good example is your how your Google Assistant will do. Have you ever I mean, worked with Google Assistants? Excuse me.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Have you ever I mean, faced some interacted with chatbots? Chatbots.
Yes, sir. We used.
Yeah. Do you know how it works? It is purely based on language understanding, right? It is purely based on NLU. It is purely based on NLU, natural language understanding. Your RASA is a open source framework for, I mean, natural language understanding, and you can create your own chatbots or your own voice bots purely based on that. Okay. What are the features of RASA? Extract meaning from messages. You can extract meaning from messages. You can hold complex conversations. You can interact. You can have an interactive learning experience. You can connect your. You can create your own applications, or you can create your own messaging channels called as chatbots, or you can run your own assistant on Slack or Facebook or Google Home, or your interactive voice response systems, or your custom channels, and many more. Even you can interact, you can do a chatbot for your college, or you can use a chatbot for your department, right? Again, integrate different API calls. You can integrate by using RASA. You can integrate your API. API might be, you can integrate I mean, MongoDB, or you can integrate with a Ingress. You can integrate with the Ingress, or you can integrate with the SQL server, or you can integrate with your existing APIs like some other databases, all right? And you can Rasa, you can by means of Rasa, you can build a superior data set. You can create your own version and you can manage the neural models, and you can deploy anywhere. You can deploy your Rasa anywhere, right? Now pricing, if you take pricing, Rasa is open. Rasa open source is free. Again we have Rasa X, again it's a free, and again if you take Rasa Enterprise, it is custom built and you have to pay for that, right? There are 3 versions. For learners, you can use Rasa open source, right? Rasa X is also free. Rasa Enterprise is also a custom version. Many, these are the trusted users. Toyota is using Rasa, Parallon is using Rasa, Airbus, the biggest, aircraft manufacturer, Airbus is using Rasa, Mobile Bank, N26 is using Rasa, your Adobe is using Rasa. So Rasa named as a cool vendor in conversational AI platforms by Gartner. Gartner is a famous, magazine, like Forbes, right? Gartner recommends Rasa as a cool vendor for conversational artificial intelligence platforms. What is Rasa? Rasa is a open source, and it is a open source, is a conversational AI framework for building contextual assistance, right? Rasa open source includes NLU, natural language understanding. Rasa, whenever if you install Rasa, I will just give you how to install Rasa, all these things. I will give you some steps how to install Rasa in this session actually. Rasa NLU determines what the user wants and captures the key contextual information. Rasa is having its own core. That means it selects the next based response or action based on the conversation history. See, for example, if a user inputs hey or hi, then your chatbot will just respond, hey, how are you? If you say good morning, then again it will say good morning. All these things should be customized by means of this core, by means of this action based on the conversation history. Channels and integrations connect assistant to users and backend systems. But Rasa X is a tool for improving your assistant through conversational driven deployment, CDD, called as conversational driven deployment, your Rasa X, right? How you are going to install Rasa? Before going to install Rasa, you have the prerequisite is you have to. I think how many of you are having you are having your system which is connected with the net now? Excuse me.
No, sir, all are connected in mobile only.
Oh, mobile only. So you can't. So okay. Anyway, I will just share these slides to you, to Professor Velavan, so that you can also get those slides, so that you can install Rasa by means of your own in your computer, and you can learn it, right? Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So Rasa is an open source, and you can use Rasa. You can use the prerequisite for installing Rasa is your Python 3.6 or 3.7, right? But whenever if you are using pip command, pip3 or pip for installing Rasa, automatically that particular command will install your Python itself. So the core command is pip3 space install Rasa in your command prompt. I will just give a small demo of it. So now we can go for step-by-step installation, or you can go for see, for example, you can also go for your if you type in Google, if you go for Google and type RASA NLU, it will just go to, this is the actual thing. This is the website of Rasa. right? There directly you can go for docs, and again you select Rasa open source. See, whenever Rasa, type rasa.com in your Google, go to docs, Rasa open source, type Rasa, click Rasa open source. You can see a web page here. Are you seeing the web page now?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So whenever if you want to install Rasa, you have to go for or you can use Anaconda. You know Anaconda, right? Have you ever heard about Anaconda?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah. Have you ever used Anaconda PowerShell prompt? This is Anaconda PowerShell prompt. All right. You can go to anaconda.org and you can do it, right? Now, what you have to do, the first command is you have to choose your environment. You have to choose your environment. For that, you can make a note of it. You can make a note of it, or otherwise we can. I will just go to this. Yeah. Now the command is conda create, right? Create minus. I mean, you have to create your name. Name in the sense, I mean, NAME name. What is the name? I'm using install 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 Rasa. Install Rasa, right? My before that I have to say what is the Python environment I have used in my system. Python. Python. If I use Python, it is Python 3.8.8 in my system, right? So I have to use, sorry, conda create minus and name install Rasa, RASA Rasa space Python double equal to 3.8.8 because I have installed Python 3.8 in my system. Okay, so if I execute it, yeah, sorry, it's aborting. I don't know why it is Python. Yeah, without space, I have to give. Oh, it's not. Just a moment. So, okay. Conda create name installing Rasa. Say I just created. Yeah. Now you just see this. Conda environment already exists. Already I have created. But anyway, I'm just showing it for a demo. remove the existing environment. So again it will remove and again it will install, right? Yeah, solving environment is done. Collecting the package, yes. Now it's installing. Now it has been installed, right? Now what you have to, again it will activate, it will just say we have to use this command, we have to activate this conda activate our environment is installing Rasa, right? Installing installing Rasa. So you just see this installing Rasa has been there. The base environment is there is installing Rasa, right? Now what we have to do in the sense, we have to as a thing we have to install. See, for example, here the installation guide has been given here, right? If you type installation, it will just give step-by-step installation. What the thing is now, for this we have to install Rasa now, right? pip3 install Rasa. I'll just give this is in the next thing is yeah. So after developing the after doing the Python development environment, you have to do pip3 hyphen version. So Python 3 version. See, for example, if you go for it again, you can say just a minute. Yeah, it is for virtual environment. It is for this command is used for this from the command prompt also you can use. From the command prompt also you can use. So instead you can also use from here, or you can also use from command prompt. So I'm in the command prompt, what I'm doing in the Conda prompt, what I'm doing, Python 3, right? Python 3 minus m when we prompt class it will create a virtual environment, right? Now what it does, Python 3 hyphen m when we dot slash when we in the sense it create a virtual environment, right? Now okay, now what we have to do in the sense, we have to activate for that. What you have to do in the sense, conda activate installing Rasa. Now we have installed, we have activated the Rasa environment also, all right? Now what the thing is, now for this, after that we have to install a Rasa project, right? For that pip install Rasa. Now we are installing Rasa. We have installed Rasa now, all right? Already I have installed Rasa for that we can, and I mean, so that all these things are satisfied and it has been installed. After that, what we have to do in the sense, rasa init, initialize. This asking directory, yes. Initial model. Now we haven't have any model. All right, I haven't done any model, so it is this. I am just training it without a model. So it is giving, it is trained and it is giving. Now for doing it as a demo, after that what we have to do in the sense, here we are having a playground, and we can, here there is a, here we are having a playground and we can just here in, right. Hey, then what it is my, it is my, it is also giving hey. I'm typing good afternoon, good afternoon, AFTERNON. It is saying hey, because already it has been given like this, right? If I give hyphen namaste, NA, just a minute. NAMESTHA, namaste, right? And I am training this. You made some changes? Yes, I'm getting some changes. So it is straight. Are you seeing my screen, ma?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'm just training the model because I included a new term, namaste here, right?
Yes, sir.
I will just say what is this NLU, what is MD, what is I mean, all these things I will just give you. It is just training because it takes some time for training this model. In the meanwhile, we will just see the slides. So this is the particular environment. Creating the first thing is creating a, installing the Python development environment. For that you can know, go to python.org. See, for that what you have to do, if you are not having Python in your system, what you have to do in the sense, go to Google, right? Go to Google, go to Python, Python, Python install. If you type Python, automatically it will give python.org, right? It will go to the official website of Python, all right? There, it normally shows your recent version, right? If you go to downloads, the recent version of Python is Python 3.9.5. You just if you want to, if you are having Windows, you just know. If you are having OS, Mac OS, for Mac OS there is separate Python. For Windows there is separate Python. So all the release notes are there. You can install Python based upon you. The recent release is your Python 3.9.5. Still it is training. Okay. So after doing all these things, you can create your own virtual environment. If it is Windows, you can use these commands, or you can also use the commands what I have used by creating IDE called as Anaconda, or you can go for Jupyter, or you can go for PyCharm, whatever the thing. Then install Rasa open source by using the command pip install -u-pip, or you can also use pip install Rasa. If you are having pip3, just type pip3 install Rasa in your command prompt. So for creating a new project, what you have to do, Rasa init. From the prompt, you have to use this command called as Rasa init with no prompt, or you can ignore Rasa init like that. What it does in the sense, this creates the following files: underscore init underscore dot py. Automatically, whenever if you create this, automatically it will create hyphen init hyphen dot py, an empty file that helps Python find user actions. It will create these files. Actions dot py. All the actions will be recorded in this actions dot py. Code for using customer actions. Sorry, custom actions in the sense user actions. Again, it will create a YML file called as config. This config.yml is nothing but your configuration of the user NLU and the core models. And it will also create another YML file called as credentials file. Here, the details for connecting to other services will be created here, right? And again, your NLU.md, in there is a subdirectory NLU.subdirectory. It will create users NLU.training data will be created here. And again, data in the folder data, another MD called as make directory called as stories data, stories MD file will also be created in the extension called as MD. Here you can create your own user stories, like just say, see here it is called as your NLU. Your NLU is nothing but these are the syntax bar. You just see the syntax. Your NLU comes with intents, right? Are you seeing the intents now? What I am showing? Intent is greet. Greet is an intent. What are the examples of greet? He, namaste, hey, hello, good morning, good day, all these things. How to subscribe? See, for example, the intent, I want to get the newsletter in the sense, again, you have to go to stories and you have to create your own intents in the stories, right? You just see this in the stories. Hello there, intent is greet. What is the greet? Here we are having greet as an intent, right? Based on the greet, you can have your own stories. You can write your own stories based upon this greet. See, hello there, greet, utter greet in the sense, I want to subscribe the newsletter. My email is this thing. All these things can be used in this user stories, right? Just see this. Yeah, just a minute. Yeah, whenever if you go for responses, see, based upon the NLU data, the responses file will be here. You just see this. Still it is training because our net is slow. It is again training the ML, because I had given a new thing here as namaste. For namaste it is giving, again it is training, right? So your training model will be just giving in terms of new words. Yeah, it is training now. Yeah. Anyway, namaste is the new word, right? So it is training. Okay. Anyway, now the responses will be by means of based upon the intents. based upon the intents, the responses will be there. The responses will be there in the sense the text is, see for example, hello, how can I help you? Like that, if you want to ask how can I help you, the user get the responses, right? Based on the responses, you all can set check your inbox, like that you can give. Or based upon that, see how can I help you in the sense, I mean, I want to get the weather of today. So what I said, no, what I have to do, I mean, the user will just type, I want to get the weather of Chennai today. If I type that in the response, again, we have to do action server. We have to do our action server. Action server will be, we have to write a Python program, and based upon the Python program, we have to do some actions. And again, we can go for a weather report. We can go for a for example, just a moment. Just a moment. There it is. Yeah. Google. See, for example, um, sorry. Do- Okay. See, for example, if I want to search, uh, whether WATH weather today, there is a API for weather, right? Yeah, we can. There are many things. AccuWeather. If I want to include AccuWeather, I have to use this particular URL, and I have to make this URL for this particular response. I have to type this URL here, so that it will just accumulate that particular URL and it will just give it as the response here, right? So based on that, we can write our own user stories also. The user stories based upon the greet, the actions, based upon subscribe. This particular here they are giving a subscription for asking about the newsletter. So it based upon the newsletter, it is giving some responses as getting the forms for newsletter. So here, if you take forms, newsletter form, what are the newsletter form? You can have your own forms, or you can just go for interface and you can just type that. So based upon the rules, you can just subscribe the rules. So these are the syntaxes. These are the syntaxes. It is very easy actually. There are you're going to create a NLU data file, response file, stories file, forms file, and rules file. That's all. So here, what you are going to do in the sense, you are creating a MD file. That MD file is nothing but an NLU. Stories file is user stories. Domain file is your action domain. After use it, after
Sir, your voice is breaking.
train as train command, you just give users initial model and the time of the particular training a model in particular year in this format seconds. Or if you, so how to I mean using, hello, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Now, if you want to have, if you want to use the Anaconda, if you're using any, I mean, your IDE like Anaconda or Jupyter or PyCharm, directly you can go for that IDE and you can use it. See, for example, if you're using PyCharm, Directly you can go for PyCharm, and you can use it by means of, because it is very user friendly, right? And you can use by means of that particular, uh, see, this is config file, this is domain file. You just see this. This is the domain file, right? See, for example, if I am training here, so your models will be there here actually. See, for example, if I train Rasa train, because Telebot is not loaded like that. So if you take data, your nlu.yml YML file is here. You just see this. Hey, hello there, good morning, good evening. All these things are here. Good afternoon. Have a nice day. Intent is deny. If you are not, you can also use deny, no, never, all these things. I don't think so. Don't like that. No way. Real. So if you take stories.yml, you can create your own stories like greet, utter greet, all these things, cheer up, right? This is happy path, and this is happy path, and this is sad path. If the user denies, no, I mean I'm very sad, so you can go for action. For action cheer up, you can just give some good thoughts or good images to them for cheering up, right? If you take config.yml, this config.yml, in config.yml you can create, you can create your own action server based upon the rule policies, right? Your endpoints, this is your endpoint. See, for example, if you want to create your own webhooks, your action server can also be done by means of just activating this HTTP. See, for example, these are the custom actions. Now I have made it as command prompt. Again, you can have your own tracker stores for tracking. If you want to just interact with your database, MongoDB, your tracker, you can just unlock these trackers, right? I'm uncommenting it. So this is for trackers. If you want to invoke some MongoDB, you can get some thing from MongoDB, and you can interact with the things, interact with your main action servers, right? In that way you can work. So this is about writing user stories. User can, the assistant, how to respond his and her messages. This is called as the dialogue management, and is handled by the user core model, right? Core models learn from real conversational data in the form of training stories. A story is a real conversation between a user and assistant. Lines with intents and entities reflect the user's input, and action names show what the assistant should do in response. See, for example, a story will look like hash story star. This is the actual format: star greet hyphen utter underscore that particular greet. Lines that start with hyphen are the actions taken by the assistant, right? This hyphen will be the actions which is taken from the assistant, and again this particular actions should be written by the particular user programmer, right? All the user actions or messages sent back to the user like utter greet. Defining a domain. How to define a domain? The domain defines the universe of the assistant. What user, see, for example, user stories, you just see this stories, come to know about this stories. Yeah, where is it? Yeah, stories. You just see this. These are the stories. Hyphen happy path, hyphen intent, hyphen action. Attribute in the sense action to be taken from the by the assistant. Where NLU, in NLU you can see that. Sorry. in rules, sorry, in domain, in your domain model. You just see this utter greet. Hey, how are you? If you type greet in the sense in stories, you are typing greet, right? In NLU, you are having what is greet? Greet in the sense, hey, hello there, good morning, good evening, let's go, hey dude. Here you can type namaste, all these things. For this NLU, based upon this NLU, right, you are creating your own stories. So in the sense, for this particular greet, you are having utter greet. Utter greet is nothing but the response. The response is nothing but your credentials. Sorry, your domain. In your domain, hey, how are you? Like that responses should be there. See, for example, if you are not, well, if the user says, I am not well, so here it is a sad path. Here is something to cheer you up. You can give us image. It's a series image. See, for example, I will just open this image, copy in browser. Yeah, small. I mean, this image, a cat like thing is coming, right? Cheese. It is just a small animal is coming for cheesing, for sharing it up, right? So like that, you can just greet, or you can just see. For example, if I say I'm bot, see, for example, who are you? If they ask who are you, then it will say I am a bot powered by Rasa. You can just write I am a bot which is powered by Lyra Institute, Lyra Institute. Automatically, if we say who are you, it will just give the information stating that I am a bot powered by Lyra Institute, like that will come. So these are the stories that you have to do by means of your assumptions. So now you are knowing about how to write this, right? Excuse me. Am I audible? Hello. Hello, guys.
Yes, sir.
Am I audible or not?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Audible, sir.
So defining a domain means okay. Defining a domain. The domain defines the universe of the assistant, what the user inputs it should expect to get, what actions it should be able to predict, how to respond, and what information to store. So these are the things that you have to do in the domain model. The domain for the assistant is saved in a file called as domain.yml. So for viewing it in Linux, you can use cat domain.yml, or you can go to IDE and you can use easily. You can just directly you can go to IDE and you can just see the endpoints or domain.yml like this, right? The different parts of the domain are intents, actions, and responses. What we have seen. Intents are the things that expect users to say. Actions are things that assistant can do and say. Responses are response strings for the strings that assistant can say. How to train? Train the model is nothing but you have to use the command called as rasa space train in the command prompt. Whenever the user adds new NLU, see here like this here, you have to use here in the core model, you can use here, I can use Rasa train, TRAIN train. It will just train. It will just train. Here there is no model has been defined, so automatically it will just see can't import, or otherwise it will train like what we are training now. So this just a minute, NLU data. See here train. Train is nothing but it will training finished. Right, here's to test it out. Here if you say hi, it will say hello, how can I help you? Right. I want to know, I mean, if I want a newsletter, what is your email address? I say PROFESSORSRINI at gmail.com. Check your inbox at Professor Srini at Gmail to confirm your subscription that is giving. I'll just check my email. Just check my email. So for example, Gmail. If I check my email, it's not up to now. It is not there. So I have to configure my email here, right? When no, it is just a training thing for this. No, if I say okay, what it is giving? Hello, yeah, like that. Yeah, buy. If I say buy, it's again asking how can I help you, because there is no such model has been trained here, right? So it has been given like this, right? So based upon this, you can just check your thing, right? So based upon that, for training the data, you have to use this command rasa train, and then for run your rasa, you have to train rasa shell, shell shell. To run the bot, you have to run rasa space shell. So this is about to train and to run the assistant. Guys, you got it? Hello.
Yes, sir.
So if you have any queries, you can ask now. So as I outset, I will just see, I mean, as I outset, for installing Rasa, if you want to know about Rasa, go to rasa.com, docs, go to rasa.com. You can just see the installation. It will just help you about how to do installation. For the prerequisites for doing it, you have to install a Python environment. The first thing, you have to set up your Python environment. The second thing, you have to set the virtual environment, as I said. No, for if you want to activate Honda, you have to go for Honda create name by means of creating the environment. And for using it, you have to install pip using pip3 command, or you can use pip install rasa. right? And again, if you want to go for additional dependencies, see, for example, if you want to get something from GitHub, and if you want to install, you can copy this command, and you can install in your, you can just make it in your command prompt, and you can make it so. For training, you have to use Rasa train. Yeah, for training you have to do Rasa train, and for running you can use Rasa shell space shell. So this is about how to create and how to run Rasa. See, for example, if you have any queries in running, or if you have any difficulties in running, or if you have any difficulties in uh, running this, running Rasa or configuring Rasa, at any time you can just ping a email to me in this mail. Just a minute. You can have, you can just note down this mail. This is my personal ID. I can just share my G drive, and I will give you the documents, installation documents. Or if you want to learn more, or if you want to learn, if you are very curious in doing some assistance, creating chatbots, or doing your final year project in chatbots, I can help you in creating your own chatbot by rectifying the, pitfalls what you had uh, faced. So you just form a group, form yourself a group, and you just install Rasa, and go to the installation manual, or go to rasa.com, go to, yeah, go to this website of official website of Rasa, and you can download the installation manual. You can study by means of your own. Here, if you take APIs, you can just uh, create your API, or you can just install. You can just install the API. You can create your own database. You can configure the database by your own assistant. All these things you can do. Okay, guys, any queries now?
So someone asked the query in the chat box.
Yeah, just a minute. I'm just chat box. Yeah. Yeah. Which AI is better than Rasa? See, Rasa is a open source. Karthik, Mr. Karthik, Rasa is a open source. There are many open source. There are many. Watson IBM, in IBM IBM Watson is there. IBM Watson is there. Google Assistant is there. Right? Just a minute. Google Assistant. Google Assistant is there. But whenever, if you use Rasa as an open source framework, it is very easy to learn. For my suggestion is, for learners, use Rasa as an open source, and try to create your own open source by using, because if you take IBM Watson or Google Assistant, there also you are going to create your own stories.md, right? NLU, here, there also you have to create your own NLU.md. There also you have to create your own configurations, config.md, config.yml file of what I had did, right? Here you have to create your own configuration, credentials, domain, endpoints, all these things you have to create. But for open source, you create your own NLU called as Rasa. So Rasa is a common thing that you can easily learn and you can easily integrate in projects. But IBM Watson and Google Assistant is open source, but you have to get some APIs whenever if you integrate in your project. But for Rasa, it is purely open source, and you can create your chatbot or voice bot by creating your own thing without any license. Okay, Karthik, any queries? Any other queries? Yeah. The WIT.ai is, there are many such open source chatbots with .ai. But for creating your own, for learning Python, whenever if you do action server based on this, you can write programs in Python and you can integrate it, because Python is open source. Rasa is again open source. Rasa has been done in Python actually. All right. Yeah. Any other? Yeah. Thank you. Bye. Any other queries, ma? Okay. Is Mr. Velavan, Professor Velavan is available?
Yes, sir. He's there.
Yeah. If you have any other queries, you can ask now. Definitely, Mercy. You can at any time you can contact me through my email. My email is I said no, PROFESSORSORINI@gmail. Yeah, it is my Gmail. Yeah. So, Mr. Velavan, are you there?
Thank you, sir. It wasn't
Yeah.
such an amazing and a fruitful webinar. Really, it's a very much useful for our future, and we are sure that we will apply it on our future projects too.
Yes.
Every start has a end, and here comes Paul Mary Jasmine from Final CSE to thank our guest with a vote of thanks. Paul
I'm
Mary, kindly
privileged to,
unmute yourself.
yeah, okay. I am privileged to give vote of thanks for this webinar. It was really a great webinar and it satisfied more than we expected. I now thank our eminent speaker, Dr. N. Srinivasan, for spending his valuable time with us in the middle of his busy schedule. Thank you, sir. I also thank our beloved administrator, Reverend Sister T. Arul Selvi, and our principal, Dr. Sujata Anand, for arranging this valuable webinar for us. Thank you, sister, and thank you, ma'am. I extend my thanks to our HOD, who always thinks and care about us, Dr. G. Bhuvaneshwari, ma'am, for being the convener of this webinar. Thank you, ma'am. I also thank all the coordinators of this webinar, Mr. P. Velavan, Mr. D. Prabhu, and Mrs. P. Rama, for making the complete arrangements for this webinar. Thank you, sir, and thank you, ma'am. And last but not least, I thank all the faculty and my dear friends for making this webinar a successful one. Thank you all.
Okay, thank you. God bless all of
Kindly
you.
everyone fill the feedback form to get your certificates. Thank you all. Thank you, sir.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you. Can I leave, ma'am? Yeah. Thank you.